Hey ladies and gentlemen, Ashley here. I am so excited for this sweet as honey paper. It is simply adorable. I love the hexagons, the beads, and just that Sundance color with those blacks. It is just to die for. So this series of videos shows you all these different embossing techniques using distressed oxide, making cards and one two-page layout. So there are 6 cards total. Make sure to like, subscribe, and craft on with me, ladies and gentlemen. So first up is going to be our 2-page layout. So to start off, we are going to use spiced marmalade on our 2 sheets of white daisy. So I have my all-purpose mat down, and so I'm going to start applying. So something to note is when you apply lots of pressure, then you get a dark circle. So that's the dark one spot you see on the page there, versus lighter circles give you kind of a lighter. So by varying how hard you're pressing can give you varying degrees of ink on the page. Now that middle section is going to be covered, so I'm not really going to worry about it. Now I'm going to bring in some water. I'm going to spritz it on my hand to get some larger drops. And then I'm going to take a tissue and dry it off, just kind of dab it off, and I get this really neat effect. So I went ahead and did the same thing on the right side. Next, we're going to use a scissor technique, and I am going to de-stress the top and bottom. Okay, so these middle part's going to be hidden, so you can see me scissor distressing. And then next I am going to spritz it with some water, crumple it up, and then flatten it back down. And that gives it this gorgeous de-stressed look. So let's go ahead and start putting these together. So I'm going to start with about 3.5 inches down on either side with that golden filigree page. And then next about 2.5 inches down on either side is going to be those cute little beads. I'm going to apply my hexagons in the middle. It's about 1 inch from the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to bring in my little papers that I did. But I realized I grabbed the wrong ones. I want the 3-inch width, not the 4-inch. The 4-inch go on the right side layout. So I figured that out, swap it out. Life is good. So when I glue these down, I'm only putting glue about the top 2/3, or in other words, the part that's not sticking up. I want to have that loose edge still be kind of loose, have that texture, and I want that to be able to be seen even in that page protector. My black and my, I think that's shortbread, I'm going to layer them up, add my photos onto that black photo mat, and then I'm going to center that up on top of that hexagonal paper. So super cute coming along, and that is just kind of the base of the paper. Oh wait, sorry. We do have our journaling card, and that's going to get centered on the bees going up against that black photo mat, so you have those lovely layers. So the right side is similar for starting off, about 3.5 inches down on either side. We have those little 1/2-inch pieces that we're going to glue down. Then we're going to do those bees. That's 2.5 inches down from the top and the bottom. Our hexagon paper goes into the middle. I should have gutted that out. I tend to gut a lot of my paper. In that way I can use it for other things, anything that's covered. So those are those 4-inch strips coming back. Again, I'm not gluing that textured edge. I'm just gluing the other parts down. I'll bring in my layered photo mat with the shortbread and the black. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my little 4x4 photos and then another spot for journaling. So a lot of fun here. This is such a fun layout to make. I really enjoyed the layers that have. However, I did gut a lot of layers out of it. So now I'm going to bring in my stickers and embellishments. So you can see kind of building in some clusters into that journaling spot. So I'll have just a little bit. Now this is kind of a neat thing. If you have a lot of journaling to say, then you can kind of tuck them further off the side versus This is just a family photo shoot that we did quite a few years ago that I'm finally getting around to scrapbooking. So I'm building these clusters. I don't really have a lot to say about this. So I'm going to have my sticker clusters kind of cover most of that journaling spot. Otherwise, I do tend to like to journal. Personally, I hate journaling, but I love looking back at my journal pages. So I kind of take up a lot of room on this one. I'm adding some of those cork shapes in. And you can see they really add a lot of fun layered effect. So I just peel them off. I have acrylic nails, so I tend to use my tweezers for those. And layering them up, make sure that those edges are parallel to one another to get that cute honeycomb effect. Adding some little sentiments to the page, and we're on to the left side. So we're going to start with this large title sticker, Love Goes On Forever. Really a fun one. I went ahead and did these flat because I do have a lot of things popped up with that those corks, cork shapes, and I didn't want to have too much bulk on my page since it already has a couple layers of paper underneath it. Deciding where I want to do this, again, I was thinking off the page or on that white square. Don't have much journaling, so I pushed it kind of further in. And then adding those other cork shapes to follow along with that pattern, kind of creating that cluster. We're going to create another little cluster using the hollowed out cork shapes at the bottom and then one of those center pieces. And then we have another cluster for the top. This one's a fun one where it's 4 of them together. Kind of tucks in nicely with that title and helps your eye curve along the edge of that page. So I do have a title, and I was trying to decide where to put that, and overall, I love it.